This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You're greatly appreciated. Come on in, make yourself at home. This week for my collection video, I'm emphasizing some of the best disaster movies ever made, at least in my opinion. And I live in Florida. My parents and grandparents are actually from Mississippi, so we're no stranger to natural disasters, from hurricanes to floods. So odd thing about me, I don't like seeing this stuff in real life. When the plane crashed the towers, they didn't see that till like years later on a documentary. So I don't seek out stuff like that, but I love disaster movies because I know they're not real. I know the people are okay. So that makes it enjoyable for me. So hopefully some of these you like. If you have some that I didn't list, please list them in the comments. Other than that, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink of a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. We're back at the Black Cave. We're back at the motherfucking Black Cave. I'm just going to jump right into my disaster series, the best disaster films ever, in my opinion. I'm going to start out with number 6 and 5. Number 6 being The Perfect Storm. This is a 2000 action-adventure drama romance thriller. This is directed by Wolfgang Peterson, produced by Alan B. Curtis, written by Sebastian Junger. Stars George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly, Diane Lang, and William Fichtner. With this film, this is actually based on a real story. In October of 1991, a confluence of weather conditions combined to form a killer storm in the North Atlantic. Caught in the gale was a sword fishing boat, Andrea Gale. And I can definitely identify with this, living in Florida where we have hurricanes. We're currently in hurricane season, so can definitely identify with that. Fantastic film. Don't want to give any spoilers away if you're not familiar with the actual event, though. Very suspenseful, somewhat sad, but really great disaster film. The next one, number 5, Twister. This is the action-adventure comedy drama thriller, which they just made a remake, Twisters. This came out this year, which I saw. This came out in 1996. This was directed by John DeBont, produced by Ian Bryce, and written by Michael Crichton. I think he's the writer who did Jurassic Park, I'm not positive. This stars Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Jamie Gertz, Carl Ells, and the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. And this is an unprecedented series of violent tornadoes sweeping across Oklahoma. Tornado chasers headed by Dr. Joe Harding attempt to release a groundbreaking device that allowed them to track them and create more of an advanced warning system. They're joined by Joe's soon-to-be ex-husband, Bill, which is Bill Paxton, a former tornado chaser himself, and his soon-to-be wife, Melissa. And I love both of these movies. Twister, in my opinion, is actually better than the remake. It just seemed more action, more suspense, comedy. It was all around really good movie. Perfect Storm. The Perfect Storm reminds me of the television show The Deadliest Catch on A&E. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not. These are real fishermen facing tidal waves, sometimes as big as office buildings. So both films did a great job of just capturing the essence of the storms, the fear, that the people have to encounter and how they overcome their fears with these fantastic disasters. So my number 6 and 5 pick, and don't worry about Poseidon, you'll see this again later on in the video though. But number 6, A Perfect Storm. Number 5, Twister. My number 4 pick is the Poseidon Adventure. This is a 1972 action-adventure drama thriller. This was directed by Ronald Neame, written by Paul Gallico, and produced by Irwin Allen, who back at the time was just known for doing disaster films. And this is kind of exemplary of how disaster films are done, like in the 70s. They used to have a huge lineup of big stars. For example, with the Poseidon Adventure, you have Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, Red Buttons, Roddy McDowall, Shelley Winters, Jack Albertson. You even have Leslie Nielsen from the Naked Gun in here. Just a whole laundry list of celebrities. And essentially with the Poseidon Adventure, this is when an ocean liner capsizes and a group of passengers struggle to survive and escape. And water movies specifically kind of freak me out because I can't swim. So I just can't imagine being on a ship that you know is sinking and there's no way off, there's no lifeboats, and someone like me who can't swim, even if you can swim, you're probably still not going to make it out though. But they did the remake, Poseidon. Did this have Kirk Douglas? I didn't think Kirk Douglas did the, John Lucas, Kurt Russell, Richard Dreyfuss in the remake. So they tried to capture that in the remake of the Poseidon, and that was good. That was a good remake. They're very good, but for 72, just the special effects and just the look of the whole movie, it's an epic, classic disaster movie. So my number 4 pick is the 1972 adventure disaster film, The Poseidon Adventure. My number 3 pick is the 1974 action drama thriller, The Towering Inferno. This was directed by John Guillermin, written by Richard Martin Stern, and just like The Poseidon Adventure, this was produced by Irwin Allen. This stars, just like Poseidon Adventure, a laundry list of big stars for that period of time. You have Paul Newman, Steve McQueen. And why that is so important, you have 2 A-listers, leading men, Paul Newman and Steve McQueen, together. You have William Holden, Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire. You even have the Juice himself, O.J. Simpson, Robert Wagner from Heart to Heart. That's pretty much all the big names out of there. With this, you have at the opening party of a colossal but poorly constructed skyscraper, a massive fire breaks out, threatening to destroy the tower and everyone in it. And this is one of the movies you don't want to think about if you're like at the top level of a hotel, like it's a 20-store hotel and you're on the 20th floor. Something you don't want to think about, having a fire break out and you're at the top and there's no way to get down. As you see here, just a laundry list of great stars. Richard Chamberlain, you got the Juice, Steve McQueen, the King of Cool himself, Faye Dunaway. So just an excellent done, excellently filmed, excellently acted, excellently executed movie. These movies, Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, Airport 77, in my opinion, they set the groundwork of these epic type of disaster films. So my number 3 film is the 1974 disaster film, Towering Inferno. My number 2 pick is the 1997 drama romance thriller, The Titanic. This was directed, produced, and written by James Cameron. And in the spirit of Irwin Allen's disaster movies, you have a list of big stars. You have Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, Billy Zane when he was actually an A-lister, Kathy Bates, the late Bill Paxton. Who else is in here? Those are the big names of this. With this one, you have a 101-year-old Ross DeWitt Bukater tells the story of her life aboard the Titanic 84 years later. A young Rose boards the ship with her mother and fiance. Meanwhile, Jack Dawson and Fabrizio De Rossi wins third-class tickets aboard the ship. Rose tells the whole story from Titanic's departure through to its death on its first and last voyage on April 15th, 1912. And I have the 3D version of this. Fantastic movie. It's so long, it's actually on 2 discs. 3D is amazing in this. This might be one of the best epic pictures probably in the 1990s. I don't know really what compares to this, because the movie is done on such a large, grand scale. How long is this movie? Like 3 hours long or something? It's an extremely long movie. How long is this? I'm not even sure. I think it's close to like 3 hours long. 3 hours. Something to that effect, though. But great filming, great acting. It's just, I can't say enough about this movie. Plus, they have it in 3D. So if you haven't seen this, you're probably one of the few people in the modern world who haven't seen the Titanic. My number 2 pick, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet, and the James Cameron classic, The Titanic. And my number 1, one of my favorite disaster films ever, 2012. This is the 2009 action-adventure science fiction thriller. This was directed and written by Roland Emmerich, produced by Aaron Boyd, starring John Cusack, Amanda Peet, Thandie Newton, Oliver Platt, Woody Harrelson, Danny Glover, George Segal. Those are the big names out of that. With this movie, you have Dr. Adrian Helmsley, part of a worldwide geophysical team investigating the effects on the Earth of radiation from unprecedented solar storms. Learns that the Earth's core is heating up. He warns U.S. President Thomas Wilson that the crust of the Earth is becoming unstable, and that without proper preparations for saving a fraction of the world's population, the entire race is doomed. Meanwhile, writer Jackson Curtis stumbles on the same information while the world leaders race to build arcs to escape the impending cataclysm. Curtis struggles to find a way to save his family while the volcanic eruption just happens everywhere. Great movie, a lot of action. It's a great combination between action, suspense, little comedy in there with Woody Harrelson. Plus, I'm Cusack fan. I've been a fan of Cusack probably since the 80s. I want to say he's in the Brat Pack, but he's Brat Pack adjacent. I'll put it that way. But very fun, great movie, great action. Just, again, one of my favorite disaster movies. Now, these are my favorite disaster movies. If you have one that's not in here, leave a comment. But if you made it this far, greatly appreciate it. Go ahead, smash the like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, what's wrong with you? Subscribe. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone be safe. Deuces. And hopefully no disasters come your way.